Join the team.
Premium.
Hey team, this is McGuire Review, and we're going to take a look at some more Wizkids sculpts, and these are a little bit different. So, in the past there's been these particular sculpts you'll find kind of single, sometimes double, that are just individually packaged. This is more of the premium edition of their sculpts, and they generally have been found in the past unpainted. So they'll be primed. Sometimes they're this size, sometimes they're a little bit bigger. They're primed, they're ready to paint. This is their new premium edition line.
Premium.
And we're going to get them out of the package. We're going to unbox these. We're going to look at each one of them. And, well, we'll look at sets of them. And we're also going to do some comparison to some sculpts that you would just generally find in the blind box. So you can see the paint quality and the difference that you're going to get here in these premium editions of the sculpts, all individually packaged. And these are within kind of that $7 to $8 price range. I'm sure you could find them at cheaper rates depending on where you bought these. And they are called Icons of the Realm Premium Miniatures.
Premium.
And each one does have a really cool package. I'm a big fan of the way they've designed sort of the package on this particular premium line, where it's got sort of that rainbow flare there that you can kind of see on the package. So here we do have the Dragonborn Paladin, which is pretty cool. And we're gonna go through these pretty quickly. Now that we've kind of taken a look at the packaging. I'll say this before I start. I almost don't even want to unbox these because the packaging looks so cool. I know it matters what's inside, but from my perspective, packaging is part of that product that you're purchasing. It's kind of part of the eye candy of what you're getting and you've spent your money on. And I think they've done a really, really nice job with the packaging on these particular ones here. These premium editions. They look so cool. How they've got it sort of window boxed in there that you really could and you can see they're really designed. They got this little piece at the bottom. They're really designed just to set up and almost be on display if you wanted to. You could just display some of these. So I don't know. Maybe there's one that I don't unbox. Let me look through here. I don't know. I feel like we got to unbox them all. I really do. I feel like we got to unbox them all. Oh, the turtle. Here, you know what? There. Boom. This is sculpt for sculpt. So this is perfect. This is the unpainted version. This is the painted version. This is both the premium versions, but unpainted, painted. Turtle. Boom. Love the turtles. Okay. So, we're going to do some comparisons there when we get that out. That's absolutely perfect. That worked out well. Okay, let's get into it. We're opening them up. Now, it looks like how it's designed here is kind of the same sort of packaging style where the plastic is kind of wrapped around the side. We are going to take this off. We'll look at this first one here just to see, is that different? It is not. So there's some really cool artwork there. We'll get up close on this because I'll save one of these up here. We'll get up close to see kind of the artwork on there. It's probably hard to see with all the fleck there on the camera. Very, very cool artwork. And this is why this packaging just looks so cool. I'm going to actually keep one of these just because you know what you could do? You could actually slice this off right here and slice this off right here. And you'd have a really cool little flecky piece of artwork that you could actually put in a really cool little black clear frame and hang up on the wall. And it would look super cool. Almost like a really nice trading card or something. I'm going to do that. Just a little creativity tip there. Okay, so we'll get through these. Boom. These are going to be like these come, where you'll have the separate base from the piece. And that gives you even more of kind of a hobbyist feel where you can glue and place this kind of anywhere you want on this little base. Normally, you're just going to put it right on there, right on the center. But sometimes, depending on what you want to do, I may actually glue it a little bit off to the side because I may want to actually put my own rock or grass or something that I would, little stream of water, I don't know, something that you would add to it. So the bases are going to come separate. It will ring doorbell. Gets us every time. So I'm going to put this I'm going to start over here now with this set, and we're going to take a look here at this. You will see this here on the miniature cam. We're going to look at sets of these. So the miniatures cam is going to come up here in just a little bit after we've opened a few, and probably take a look at maybe 3 or 4 of them at a time. This is done really well. So I can tell you right now, the shield, the type of paint and the fleck they've put on the shield is definitely beyond what I would see, as well as the sculpting on the shield is definitely beyond what I would see with a standard non-premium miniature. It's not far off, but it's definitely better. The actual paint job is definitely better, and it comes down to the richness of the colors, and even with the amount of different contrasting colors here on the Dragonborn, the painting is very tight, and it's not slopped between like the cream and the black color and the brown color. There's no smearing there. There's no slopping of the paint there. I think when you look at things like the very small silver buckle that's painted over the top of that creamy kind of leather color, it's very well done. It's very tight. It's not slopped anywhere. These are good. These are good. And the metal fleck paint that's on this sword is very rich. That's definitely a higher quality paint. As well as the bases are painted, and they're all sculpted. So you could essentially just say, well, this is the base. You could just use that as a base. You don't even need this if you don't technically want it. I always use it. I always glue them to it because I usually do a little bit something more with it. But the sculpting and the rock on this is done really well. And the painting of that, it looks really, really good. The ground looks phenomenal on these. The ground, I'll call them the ground effects. Look awesome. Okay, very well done so far. Now we're going to speed it up a little bit as we kind of go through these. I just wanted to spend some extra time on that first one to see, okay, these are tight. I don't want to break anything here, so we're going, you know what? Forget it. The cleave it is. Cleave is coming out on these, and we're just going to come right down here, and we're going to slice like that, and we're going to open it up, each one of them, because these can be difficult sometimes to open. So here's our next one. Get that out of our way. Okay, you know what? Let's not do that because I know it's an Aasimar, but I wanted to make sure it was a Paladin, and it is. So this looks very cool. I love the translucent wings. It looks so good. And then the sword, hang on a second. That does not look right. This looks like the sword got bent. Yeah, that's not right. So we're going to have to fix that. Actually, that's all we needed to do. I don't think we're going to need to do anything else there. The sword got bent back behind that wing a little bit. Maybe it was just manufactured. It was manufactured and packaged that way. It got bent back behind, kind of got caught back behind that wing. So we've pulled it out. I may need to do a little heat to straighten that one up because I will definitely want to have this one be absolutely perfect. The sword has got a white to a yellow transition, translucent plastic, and the wings just look amazing. Just a really ghosted white. Oh, that's so cool. I love the fact that they just went with complete translucent on those wings. It looks awesome. The shield is amazing. Check out the detail on the shield. Oh, wow. This one is awesome. These are really good. And again, the bottom there just being highly sculpted. This one's got some dirt and some grass. These are phenomenal. Okay, next one. Slice. Okay, this cleave is making that much easier. I'm going to keep a few of these because I want one that's like really nice. I am going to do that. I'm going to slice it and I'm going to create a little... I'm going to do it. Okay. This is the human druid. Very cool. Always love the druids. This is a very nice one. I'm loving the little spell effect there. Translucent coming up from the ground. Good detail on the sculpt. Again, let's check out here on this little, on the weapon. Yep, weapon's looking nice. Really nice detail on the paintwork. The face looks amazing. Nice pink lips, really tight eyebrows are painted in, really tight. That's a great sculpt. Okay, you're gonna check these out. We're gonna do them 3 at a time, 3 at the time at the miniature cam, so you can go ahead and start to check those out and just see how high the quality of those are. Now we're gonna get into the next one, which is an elf cleric. Okay. I'm just going to keep these here because not only do I want one that's really good condition, they look cool. Okay, so we got the Elf Cleric. All right. This one here. Okay, I'm very impressed with the actual armor paint job. The shield looks really good. I was going to say at first, and maybe it's just the amount of washing. I think the washing was put a little deep on the face because the actual paint job on the face and the eyes is done really well, but I think there was a little too much washing there, which kind of grimes it up, and I just don't think that looks right for this particular model. Again, each one of these are going to be a little bit different, but the point of these premium sculpts is that the paint job is better than what you would find standard, and it is richer, and I can definitely tell you that is the case. The paint job on these, I'm going to group these up here. The paint job on these is definitely a thicker, more bolder feel to the paint than what you would normally get. It's not too far off because the ones that you would normally get are actually pretty good, but it's definitely better. Okay. This is the Elf Druids. So we got another Druid here. Love the Druids. I'm a big fan of Druids. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, here we've got a spell with sort of a bird. Maybe it's a phoenix. Who knows? That's sort of coming up out of there all in translucent. That's really cool. I love the cape flared all the way back out just as that magical spell is exploding up out of the hand there. The really cool, simple staff. Paint job looks good. Blues are nice and rich. The golds really pop on this one. And then we got gold painted in, like it's almost like a fleck gold. So it's a higher quality paint, definitely. And I didn't notice this. Now I am as it's hitting the light. This piece here actually has a very small portion of gold fleck dry brushing on it. This is an amazing one. Love that one. That may be one of my favorites so far. Now, that one's probably going to have problems standing up until it's glued because of the weight of that cape. So once that's glued, obviously it's not going anywhere, but until it's glued, it is going to have some problems standing up. So we're just going to tip it over there with that cape. Next one is our Dwarf Fighter. So slice that, slice. Man, it's like butter, the cleave. Okay, pull that out. Keep this one, because this one turned out pretty good. Got to pick which one's the best. All right, love these dwarf sculpts. This one nails it. Okay, I love the hammer there, the bronze that's used. Little dagger's cool. It's not really a dagger. It's more of a sword. Eyes are done incredibly well. The eyes are like almost decal quality looking on this particular sculpt. And I love the blues and the golds and the silvers, and everything is very tight here. So this Dwarf Fighter turned out excellent. All right, next up we got the Goliath Fighter. Get that one open. Out. That one was in there pretty good. Oh, nailed! Oh man, nailed it on this one as well. This one may be one of the best. Well, that's hard to say. But this one really nails it on the paint job. Between the browns and the blacks and the detail on the face on this one and the detail in the cloak looks amazing. Yeah, they killed it on this one. The paint job on this one looks phenomenal. So you will have to check out that. Put that right up front. Killed it on that one. That one looked amazing. All right, let's get into the next here. We've got another. This is a Dragonborn Fighter. So another Dragonborn here. So again, you're going to get a number of these in just different classes. So here we got the Fighter. Oh, nailed it on this one as well. The brown on this one with the orange is done so well. That's what's... So team, I think the big learn here on these is just the richness to the paint color and the coating of the paint. That's what I'm seeing, that they're really going well a step and beyond above. For these, from what you're finding in the blind box, the blind box standard boxes of these miniatures, the actual richness of the paint is definitely a step above. Although they're pretty good in those blind box, there's definitely a difference in the way that the satin browns and the curing of these paints. It's definitely a step above. Again, eyes done absolutely phenomenally well. Paint job is so rich. The colors are just so rich. This set right here on the miniature cam, I think, is really going to pop for you. The Goliath and the Dragonborn. Man, I hope I don't slice my hand with this thing. Okay, it's going to be a heck of a video if it is. Okay, we're going to throw that one. Pop the little out. Okay, and here is a little Gnome Rogue. This is a really cool little sculpt too. I love the... Now, this one you could almost say is overwashed as well, but I love the overwashing on this particular piece. It really brings out the detail and gives you that just gnomish rogue look. Very cool on this one. What a great sculpt. Just the classic rogue holding the dagger with all the pouches across the waist and a really cool kind of castle stone looking floor. Nice done. Nicely done. That's very cool. You can see the scaling and the size there. Now we're getting into the human Warlock. Okay, so human Warlock here. This one has got a lot going on. You can just see how big this piece in the back is in front of the actual sculpt. And it's really chunky. It's really thick. It's got a very, very rich... I mean, you can just see how rich that... Just from this distance, until we even get up close on it, you can see how rich that blue is and how the paint job is different. It's a step above. Lots of colors here. Again, very tight. I think one of the other things that pop out is the faces are all done very, very well on this particular line. Very tight lips, eyes, even the eyebrows, which you generally don't see the eyebrows done so tight and nice. These are phenomenal. I mean, I really think that if you're someone who doesn't paint, you're not going to buy the version of these, or I'll say that for last. We're not going to buy the version of these that are unpainted. You kind of scour and or buy online the individual maybe sculpt that you want to represent your character with, or you need from a game perspective, and you get from a blind box. I really feel like they've now provided an offering where you can say, you know what, I'm a human warlock, and you can just go out and buy this human warlock, and it really is beyond table ready. It's just, it really kind of cuts it from a, here's a sweet painted miniature that represents my character. Really well done. Human Barbarian, I was looking forward to seeing this one as well. This is the female human Barbarian, and I think they've done a great job with this one too. I love the double weapon action with the sword and the axe. Again, these cloaks are just exploding with this higher quality line. I'm really glad they went with the painted bases like this, that they did so much work sculpting in and painting these bases, which
you won't find in the standard version of this that you would find in a blind box. It would just be mounted right on the standard base. So they kind of went a step above as well, adding these little sculpted bases too, to give you even more of a custom, more premium feel, where again, very easily, you could glue this on the front like this, and then you could get yourself, I mean, literally, just go outside and get a rock. You don't have to buy the special stuff. Get you a little pebble or a couple little chips of a rock, little super glue, put it right on there. A little bit of wash, right? It adds so much more dynamic and premium and custom feel to it, and it's so easy. A little stick you could put on there. You don't have to go out and buy all the special terrain stuff. If you want to, sure, but you don't have to do that. Okay, we're getting to the end here. This is our Tabix Rogue. Come on out of there. Our cat folk. This is looking great too. This one, I love the coloring on this one. Absolutely loving the color on this one. It's got a great paint job on that tail. Look at the blacks and the yellows there, or blacks and oranges that are used on that tail there as it whips down. The light, soft sky blue with the light brown. Now, they could have went with a dark brown, but that light sky blue with that light brown and all the detail on the face, phenomenal. This one's a great one. Love that sculpt. Check that one out. Loading it up right now. That looks awesome. Okay. Whew. Got close on that one. All right, here we go. Elf Ranger. Our classic Elf Ranger. This one I would say is a little bit more standard from a sculpt perspective. But I love the purple on there. It's nice and rich. I do like the multi-tone on the bow, where you got the white string, you've got kind of gold tips, and then you've got like a almost kind of a yellow, not yellow, but sort of a canvas almost style color, canvas style, like a canvas color that's sort of washed a little bit. I think this one's pretty cool. I will have to say from a review perspective, not as impressed with this particular one as some of these other ones. I think, and I will say that because you have to look at the consistency as well. All of them have been consistent from the perspective of face and paint job done really well. All of them from the perspective of the paint is richer and has more of a, it just has more of a multi-coat feel. However, this one seems to have less sculpting in the base. This one seems to be a little bit more basic compared to some of these other ones. Like if you take this and compare it to this Dragonborn Fighter or this Goliath, it's like night and day difference. So maybe they do need to continue to kind of work on just the consistency that every single one of these need to be as good as any of them in the set. You can't have some of them that are like phenomenal and then some of them that are just like, yeah, it's cool, and yeah, it's better than the standard, but it's not as cool as this one. Everybody should feel like their particular sculpt they select in this set is just as cool as any of them, just as detailed, and just as well done. That may just be my opinion. There may be others that think this is phenomenal. Again, a lot of these things, from a review perspective, are completely opinionated, and that is my opinion, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's still an outstanding set and an outstanding value. Now we're to the turtle, and you know, this is another one of these that just shine. I mean, look at the paint job on this turtle. It looks so cool. I love how they've done the staff here. See, the staff is actually completely translucent. It does get a little thicker here at the end on this one, but in here they went with a blue, and then it turned back into sort of a darker color that matches more of the staff, which is really nice. And I'm glad they did that versus just making the whole thing the translucent blue. It gives you more texture, and it gives you more depth on that staff. Everything else is done really well. There is, I will say, there is kind of a one area they may have been able to make this one a little bit better, and I'm going to be a little picky on this one because I love this turtle sculpt, and I will use this sculpt 100% as my character. So one thing I think they could have done a little bit of a better job on with this one is the shell. It's the exact same color and tone as the skin. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think they should have made the shell a little bit of a darker color, or a little bit of like they should have used some greens or a little bit of a darker brown on that shell to give you some variation between the shell and the skin. And I think this piece would have popped even more. It looks awesome the way that it is, but it definitely would have popped more if the shell had some color contrast against the skin. Again, maybe just my opinion, but I'm big with the colors and the different color contrasts, and it's all, I don't know, I like the eye candy, right? I like you set it down and it's like, oh, that looks good, right? All right, so here you go. Here's the turtle there, and it's probably going to have, nope, it stands up. And here is the other, this is not a standard edition, it's definitely part of their premium line, but it's the unpainted edition of this one here. So here we go. Here's both of them side by side. You can see that now on the miniature cam, and you can check those out on the miniature cam. These are pretty awesome. And, hopefully we can do some more of these. I will say that we're going to be having some more of these premium lines come for Pathfinder as well. I can't wait till those arrive. We're going to be taking a look at those in the month of October here coming up. To take a look at some of these premium models from a Pathfinder perspective, which I'm also a big fan of. But these Dungeons and Dragons premium line do look awesome. Remember some of the things we called out that make these, I think, a step above and a little bit better. Getting that premium sculpt and having that premium paint, really awesome. Now, here at the very end, we are going to put some just like standard blind box painted miniatures out there with some of these, and you can just see the difference that you get there, and really it comes through, I think, very clear from those images that you can see the difference of the richness of the paint and the application of the paint as well as the thickness of the paint. It's how many layers of paint are on there. The more layers of paint you put on a model, generally the smoother and better that it looks. And that's why you'll get in any of the professional miniature painting, it's application after application after application, because that's what really gives you that real nice, smooth, rich feel and look to the material and to the paint as well. All right, so hopefully everybody enjoyed these. We'll do more of them in the future. So hit that like, click the subscribe button to join the team. Keep rolling them crits. This has been the McGuire Review, and we'll see you next time.